So what's up guys? Today what we're gonna do is particle system. We have that kind of particle. We have this kind of particle. You can use it like breaking blocks. And we have this kind of particle. Kind of like firework or explosions. And using this particle we can make a torch. And that's pretty nice. So let's get right into it. So guys, I'm in a new project, and what I'm going to do is create a new sprite and delete the cat. I'm going to name my sprite Particles. So that's nice. And for your costume, what you're going to have to do is to draw a part. So I'm going to actually name this part, and I'll be back with my epic kind of looking part. So guys, that's how it's gonna look like. Pretty cool. You can obviously do a different color, or you can leave it like this and edit your color effect. And now, actually, you saw me lighting up a torch, and that was actually with a different costume that I just made it red, and that's it. So, yeah, let's get into the coding. For the coding, we're going to do when green flag is clicked, we will want to hide our main sprite. And because I'm going to show you guys how to do it, I'm going to show you guys all. I'm going to do forever. If key space is pressed, I'm going to do the explosion looking one. Okay, so yeah. Let's see. Wait until not key space is pressed. So key space is the explosion looking one. Next one I'll do with A. A is going to be that fire kind of looking one. And I'm going to do B, which is going to be the block breaking kind of looking one. So now what I'm going to do is go into my blocks, and I'm going to create a block, name it particles. And then actually, to light up a torch, this is just one frame. And to light up a torch, you gotta do a few more things. So, let's do that. And then, because I have lots of different types, I am supposed to know which I am doing. So I will create a variable for the sprite only, name it type. And before you make this particle system into your actual project, I want you guys to create your own new project. Try to copy down all the codes I'm trying to show you guys, and then choose the right one you need, and then import it into your game. So that's a cool tip you might want to know. And let's actually edit this particle block, number input, and name it type. So that's all you have to do. So now let's drag this in. 1, 2, and 3. Now for the last one, you're not creating a particle, you're lighting up a torch, so you don't have to put one in there. But what we're going to have to do is we're going to have to set type to 4, and then this time you'll drag it under there. And you're going to repeat until key L is pressed again. We are going to create clone of myself, and then we are going to wait until not key L is pressed. But the tip is that you want to do 2, create clone of myself. And you might ask, why do we need 2? Repeat until will repeat it every frame. But the problem is, if that won't look good as 2 create clone of myself. 2 create clone of myself, what does it do? It creates 2 clone per frame. It just, yeah, it really just creates double amount of clones. If you never knew that, yeah, forever will run every single frame, making it that 2 clones will be created. And repeat until is the same. So yeah. now what we're going to do is particles, we're going to set our type to type. And we are going to repeat pick random 12 to 20. So this basically kind of gives the range of how many particle parts we are going to have. But yeah, whatever. Let's just go to control, get a create clone on myself. And yeah, that's actually all you gotta do. Now you go to control, you get when I start as a clone. And this is where the thing comes in. Now, first thing we're gonna need is the duration so that the things could stay alive. And you're gonna have to set that to 0. You'll get an if statement. And you'll go to my blocks, get a block, you're going to name it setup. You're going to select that row without screen refresh button. Let's drag that in here. Here. Or you can do it here, it really doesn't matter. Now let's go to operators, get an equal sign. If my type is equal to 1, then we are going to do this one key space is pressed. And for the space one, I remember it was the block breaking thing or the firework kind of looking thing. But yeah. Okay, so we are going to switch costume to part, and then we are going to code our setup first actually. We are going to set our size to pick random, and we're going to do pick random and another pick random. For the front, you're going to do 1 to 50, and for the second, you're going to do 25 and 75. Okay. And then next thing is your ghost effect. You're going to set your ghost to, yeah, let's just do this. We can get rid of that one. Pick random 1 to 45. You really don't want your ghost to go over 50 because that will be half invisible. So you don't want that actually with your particles. You want your particles visible. For your brightness effect, you can do pick random a -1 to -25 to 1 to 25. So yeah, that's actually good enough. And let's go to our, you know what? We don't need that in there. We'll just go to mouse pointer here. And we'll do point and direction. You can put that there. -360 to 0. And actually, let's just do 0 and 360, not -360. And then you're going to need 2 new variables. Your first one is going to be height for this sprite only. And yeah, let's just do that. Okay. Yeah, you know what? I think that'll be better for you guys, so yeah. Let's see. Let's set our height to pick random 225. And we need 1 more variables, and that is going to be velocity. So you can do that. We're going to set our velocity to pick random 5 to 7 would be nice. And then we will go to the front layer and we will show. Now repeat until our duration is greater than 99. And then before we move on, I just want to say that this project will be on my studio and you guys can go check it out. So let's get move velocity step, and let's change our size. Oh, yep, right there. By velocity divided by 2.0. There you go. So it's going to get smaller and fading out because we're soon going to add our change ghost effect by. And we can do change Y by our height. So there. And yeah, this came down, so we'll put it back up there. And actually, we can do that and drag the set duration 0 to the setup. That would actually be a lot cleaner. In that repeat until loop, what you're going to now add is change height by, so this is where the math comes in. We're going to do divided by 2. We're going to divide by height times 8, and the abs of height times height. So basically height squared, that's what you're going to need. And then for your velocity, you're going to set your velocity to velocity times 0.9. So you're basically going to go slower and slower out. That's good enough. And you're going to now start changing your ghost by negative, 2.0. You don't need that negative, and you're going to change your duration by 2.0. Now, what you're going to need is a delete this clone after that repeat until loop ends. And that would have finished your firework effect when you press space, and it's pretty cool. So let's move on. Okay, so we need a if statement. We're going to do equals type is 2. And actually, in the setup, we are going to, or you know what? We could do set color effect to pick random 1 to 1,000. In the firework kind of looking thing. And let's actually try to give it a color of that. And if you see, kind of works like that. Pretty cool. Pretty nice. And let's move on. So if type equals 2, we are also going to switch costume to part. Yeah, as all the other stuff, let's just put that in here. It's gonna be fine. And we are going to just copy this, and we're going to drag that in here. Now, these stays the same, so you know what? I'm just switching up the codes a lot from my prototype. So yeah, let's just stick with it. I think it's gonna be fine. Let's set our height and our velocity here, and just do that. Get rid of these two. Okay, now we can get rid of these two, and it should still work fine, but a lot more simpler. So that's pretty nice. The only thing that has to change are in here. Now, what you're going to have to do is, with the height, it's the most different part. You're going to do negative 0.2, and you're going to do times 5. Like that's literally the most different part. And for the velocity, you're going to do negative 0.7. And then boom, that's it. Now you have designed your A. Sort of like that. And for the A, what you could do is, or you could do, yeah. is velocity times 1.5 steps. That is what you could do. Now, if you see, kind of see like that. And actually, let's make that 0.2. If you see, that's actually looking pretty good. But we can just take that multiply out. So now if we run, you see kind of that fire effect. It's pretty nice. And finally, the third one, the block breaking looking thing, is almost exact same too. What we'll want to do is we will want to change our height by negative 0.7 and change that back to 0.9. Now that's it. If you see, you will get your block breaking effect. And actually, if you want, you can do part 2 and you can make it back to gray. Well, we can do switch costume to part 2. Because I don't like that red with this block breaking one. I like brown, gray, and all those better. This might be the most useful, or the torch one. I'm not sure if the firework one is that useful as these two. Like, if you see, these two are pretty useful. You could do torch in a spooky hallway, Minecraft kind of game, or just builder game, or whatever. You can even use this in a parkour game when you die, kind of like just pops. And our final one is to make the torch light. Now that, like this one, you can just go ahead and copy your second one. And you could put it here, but it's not going to be go to mouse pointer. You are going to select a spot like 0, 0. And if you now press L, you see that kind of there, like there, but you know, it's just not right at all. So let's see. Oh yeah, the type has to be 4. So now if we go, it should work fine. If you see, you kind of see the torch now. What you could really do is just help yourself and draw a torch. So there you go. It's a tiny torch. I really just meant to make it bigger, but it's okay. It looks fine. And that's actually all the particle effects I am going to show you guys today. It was very cool, I think. I think it was like, yeah, so, yeah. It's pretty cool, pretty easy to do. And peace.